Hi friends, welcome to this week's Good News Edition, where we bring you stories from across the Panhandle and beyond that will inspire you and motivate you this new year. We're going to kick it off with Ruben on the road and see where he visited this week.
Six and a half years ago, I moved to Perryton because of my son's insistence, because I was having health problems. I'm a quilter and I brought my quilting with me. Twice I had to drive an hour to buy a spool of thread to finish a quilt. I thought that was ridiculous. So I called my daughter, who lived in California, and she worked with scrapbooks. I told her she had to move to Perryton so we can open up a store, scrapbooking and quilting. She laughed at me. A year later, she moved to Perryton. We opened up our first store. 8 months later, a tornado hit in our parking lot, and that was the end of our store. A year later, we opened this one up. And this one is twice as big. And instead of just scrapbooking and quilting, we now have a unique crafting store. We have room for classes, and my daughter teaches paper, and I teach quilting, and we have reached out to this community who have totally accepted us. We give sewing lessons and crafting lessons to 4-H, Girl Scouts, Senior Citizen Center, the Rest Home, and we have Saturday open tables, so anybody who wants to come and craft can do that for free in a safe environment where they can feel like they're welcomed and appreciated, which was one of our goals in the first place. We have thoroughly enjoyed Perryton. It's been wonderful for us. The people are wonderful. It continues family traditions. You can look at that quilt or that scrapbook and you can think, oh, there's Grandma. Oh, I remember when we did that. Oh, that was such a fun day when we did that. It brings back memories to us over and over again. And that's important so that we know where we came from and who we are.
It's kind of a funny story, but we moved back to Stratford, and a day or two after Thanksgiving, they had a deal in the paper that the Courage Cowboy Club had been deep frying turkeys there on 6th Street and distributing those turkeys to military families. And I was reading the paper, and they delivered 4 turkeys to Stratford. And I thought, well, we can take care of our own folks. So that's when it started.
They started out with turkeys and cooked turkeys for probably 10 years and everything. And it was kind of funny. You walked in and there was a bunch of cowboys with cowboy hats sitting around a bunch of turkey pots cooking turkeys. Finally, Lynn was like, what are we doing? We're beef guys, let's cook them beef. So we've been cooking these beef tenders probably for the past 15 to 20 years. And we've lost a lot of the guys that originated in doing this and everything. And so some of us younger guys have started to take it over, and we've carried it on, and we'd like to get some other communities to doing it too, and it's a good thing.
We're not trying to force this on anybody, but we've seen how the families of military personnel have responded to 5 pounds of meat. You know, they can get that meat anywhere, but we cook it. It's a special kind of meat, and it's tender and it's good, and so it's going to proliferate itself down the road, whether we push it or somebody else comes along and does it. But
you know, I just like to start by saying why we do this. It's to let the first responders, and when back then when we were doing it for the soldiers, it just let me know when I was in Afghanistan and Iraq that my family was taken care of here. It just carried a lot of weight off my shoulders where I can concentrate on the mission, that I knew my family was going to be loved. When our families aren't doing good, we're not focused on the mission. And when we are reassured by our families, like people are loving on them and thinking of them and praying for them, real honestly, it's always been a wonderful, wonderful benefit of being in this small town, because we all take care of each other.
Hey friends, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this short break. Welcome back. Let's check out a fun community along Route 66 on this week's Community Spotlight.
The classic cars, nostalgia, and memories of the Mother Road. It stretches 2,448 miles from Chicago to California, running through the Texas Panhandle. Its history and the tourism it brings is the lifeblood of Shamrock.
General years, we have around 22,000 documented visitors coming in from all over the country, all over the world. This year, it is going to be probably magnified by 3 or 4. We already have tour buses and tour groups that have contacted us.
June 27th, Shamrock is planning a big celebration for Route 66 Centennial Celebration. And with Shamrock being home to not only the Mother Road, but the world-famous You Drop In.
If you are into classic cars, good food, rodeos, great music, we have something for everybody. We are really excited that we're going to be able to have a rodeo that weekend, so our international visitors will be able to experience a part of Texas.
To accommodate the thousands of additional travelers from around the world, Shamrock has been preparing since 2020.
We are working right now to try to expand our places to stay, places to eat. We are very, very blessed to have the restaurants that we have around Route 66 and in town. So we definitely are expecting to grow with that and try to get more things,
including new businesses along Route 66.
I'm thinking of Route 66. I'm dreaming of Route 66. You're gonna love.
Here's another good story for you to enjoy.
In the Midwest, motorcycle rides come with a shelf life.
I have no thoughts other than what's around my surroundings.
The control belongs to the change of seasons.
Nature, the noise, the sound, the motorcycle, the birds you can hear.
As Jerry Walters collides with the air he breathes, he knows how fragile life is.
I hadn't ridden for 2 years.
He retired as an auto mechanic.
I have my peace with God when I'm riding. That's where I make my peace.
And now works at Nebraska Medicine.
This is a left ventricle assist device.
If the heart gets out of rhythm, the device sends a high-energy shock to the system. That's why he quit riding his Harley for 2 years.
I got home one time on a motorcycle from work. Thank God I just pulled in the garage, put the kickstand on, started off, my ICD fired. Shocked me. An ICD shock would send me to the ground. I mean, had I been riding on a motorcycle 2 minutes earlier, I'd been going 50 miles an hour on a highway.
His first-hand knowledge led this patient to fill a gap.
Morning, Bob. My name is Jerry. I'm a mobility aide here at the hospital. I'd like to get you up to go for a walk.
Helping others navigate the medicine and mortality when your heart is nearing the end.
He takes the time to get to know them, to figure out what they're anxious about, and share his own experiences with them to help them, understand that there is another side.
The learning curve was about to skyrocket. He needed a new heart, and one soon became available.
When you have things happen to you, you make it a point to learn everything you can about it.
What went through your head when you got that call?
I cried. It's happiness, but then sadness knowing someone died in order for me to get it.
Transplant rules don't allow a patient to contact the donor's family for a year. Turns out the donor's family also wanted to meet Jerry.
Did you worry that every time you saw Jerry, you would think of your son?
The first time we met him, he was letting everybody listen to his heart, and I couldn't do it.
That's understandable. Tanya and Tim's son died in a crash in southern Iowa, August 2021. Brandon Hatfield was just 28. 3 days later, his heart beat inside Jerry.
I was third in line for the heart, believe it or not. It's the first individual had a fever, could not be operated on. Second individual refused it. And then it came to me. And I'm thinking, he crashed on a motorcycle, and did God intervene on this one?
Jerry Walters considers Brandon's family a part of his. For example, here's the joy from a niece and nephew of Brandon's visiting Omaha as they checked out the zoo.
What'd you think when you heard Jerry was going back to school?
Thought he was crazy.
If you make a cross-section of that.
Jerry Walters, who is 70, never stops learning.
Does it fill the field of view?
Yeah.
He enrolled in the nursing program at Metro Community College. In anatomy class, he's surrounded by youngsters.
They see somebody of my age coming in and they probably wonder, what am I doing here?
It's actually been kind of fun because in this quarter, we talked about the cardiovascular system, see how his is working and compare it to average younger individuals.
Why did you want to be an RN?
Because I want to do that so I can get on the transplant coordination team to see the patients from the beginning.
In order to work the transplant floor, he needs to be a registered nurse. So how old will you be when you're an RN?
72.
How does that sound?
Fine with me. 72 is just a number for me. I feel like I'm 50.
In a way, Brandon Hatfield, the original owner of the heart, is still riding.
Now don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more good news. Welcome back. Now Sheldon has been busy blessing people across the Panhandle with paying forward. Now let's visit with him and see who he surprised this week.
It's time for our latest edition of Pay It Forward with Carpet Tech. I've got Bethany here with us today. You say we find someone to go pay it forward to?
Yes, let's go help someone out. Here is 100, 200, and 300.
Thank you very much. Let's go out there and pay it forward.
Don't believe this. I finally found you guys. He works real hard, and he's always helping his nephew, and his nephew always needs a lot of good things, so that'll be the perfect person to do it.
All right, perfect. And then what about just kind of during the holiday season? What does it mean to you to be able to give somebody?
Oh yeah, the holiday season is just the perfect time to give a gift. You know, it's Christmas time, but people need the extra money for Christmas, and so I'm thinking it would be the perfect time to give the gift.
Well, it's time again for our latest edition of Pay It Forward. I've got $300 here, courtesy of our friends over at Carpet Tech. I got Leslie here with me today. He wants to pay it forward to his good friend. Quincy says they're good friends, and it is the season of giving after all, so it's a great time to help somebody out. And so we've got this $300 here. I'll hand it off to you. 100, 200, 300. Let's go make his day.
Okay, let's do it.
What in the world?
Hey,
oh my God. We see you all the time. Oh my God.
Well, now you're going to get to see yourself on NewsChannel too.
Leslie. This is my friend Quincy, and he does a whole lot for his nephew, and you know, he's always a good dad to him, and I think he's the best person to deserve the $300 for it, especially during this busy time and it's Christmas time. So I'm gonna hand this off to you. It's 100, 200, and 300.
Good. Thanks, man. This is amazing. We watch y'all all the time on the news. So this is gonna be the gift that keeps on giving. I have an autism nephew, and by Leslie blessing me, by you guys blessing, and Leslie blessing me, I'm gonna give this to my mom for my nephew for Christmas. Thank you guys so much.
This next story offers a blast from the past. Let's check it out.
Being new to town, Buck Newman walked into Real Hollywood Video excited for the nostalgic experience of renting a movie.
You're just surrounded by movies and color and excitement and the smells of the popcorn and the snacks.
He's not the only one following his nose. Christopher Knapp and his family pop into the shop weekly.
My daughter is like, first thing, can we get popcorn? Like, no matter what.
That familiar experience of looking for a movie on a Friday night and trying to agree on one the entire family will be happy to see is something he didn't think he'd be able to share with his daughter.
And it's just fun and nostalgic and wonderful and warm and cozy and amazing.
The once ubiquitous video rental store has nearly vanished with just a handful left around Oregon. McMinnville's Real Hollywood Video is one of them, and this year the shop is celebrating its 40th year in business.
1985 is when this store started. It's also the same year Blockbuster Video started. They went franchise in '86, and now after all this There's as many Blockbuster videos as there is real Hollywood videos.
Martin Solano is the operator of the shop. He works alongside Jessie Adrian, whose parents are the ones who opened the store just months after she was born.
McMinnville is such a tight community that really supports local stuff, and so our customers have been really loyal to us and helped us through that, and so it is quite amazing that we've made it to 40 years.
In addition to the tens of thousands of titles they have available, customers, young and old, who come in looking for advice on what to rent will see retail food and drink items created by locals.
And I found out that this movie store is actually like a trading post for the art community in town, and it's so much more than just a movie store. It's connected me to the community media at the public access station, where I'm in a film club now, and I've worked with Martin and Jessie on really cool projects.
So what does the future of video renting look like?
Maybe someday there'll be a chip I give you that you plant in your glasses and you, I don't know. But however direction it goes, the Real Hollywood Video is going to try to be here to share that entertainment with you in whatever way it comes.
You have time to grab a quick snack. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Well, hey friends, here at News Channel 10, we have the opportunity to find and share positive and inspirational stories with you. And now we're bringing you those good news stories on Good News Edition, where we can highlight those great stories from around our area. And don't forget, you can find plenty more good news on newschannel10.com and your favorite streaming apps.
Hi friends, welcome back. And now let's kick it over with Kelsey and see who visited her this week on The Chat.
From News Channel 10, you're watching The Chat.
The Texas Ramp Project is a statewide organization. It's headquartered out of Richardson, Texas, and that's where it started.
Yes.
At the Methodist Church, they had one of their clientele, church members, that needed a wheelchair ramp, and a bunch of the folks from the church went out to the house and created a ramp for them. And then before somebody else saw it and said, hey, I want one of them, and it just blossomed. Started out, they were just doing Central Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, that area, and then they took it statewide several years ago, probably about 10 years ago. They took it statewide, and now it's, this is the 40th year. They've built over 30,000 wheelchair ramps in the state in those 40 years.
Yes.
I don't know how many miles that is, but a bucket
lot,
load of them.
a lot.
We have built, my wife and I became coordinators 2.5 years ago for the Panhandle. We cover everything from Crest, Texas going south, the Texas-New Mexico border going the other direction, and Childress going back down 287, and all the towns in between.
Yes.
We have 8 build leaders in Amarillo, and then I've got 3 that cover the northern part of the Panhandle. All of our team build leaders are fully equipped with tools, supplies, and all they need, and then we rely on local volunteers to come out and build ramps with us.
Absolutely.
One of the things that my wife and I, when we took over, we had over 270 people on our wait list, and the wait time was over a year to get a wheelchair ramp.
Yes.
And if I can tell a funny story, my wife and I she was looking, I kind of had to twist her arm to get her to do the paperwork, because there's a tremendous amount of paperwork that goes behind this thing, and she's real detail oriented, and she saw that list, and she just said, Henry, you're going to fix this. This is unacceptable. And so I thought, what better, I'm a member of the Amarillo Downtown Lions Club, and I thought, what better way to help these folks is to bring this to our Lions clubs.
Yes.
And being a past district governor of Lions clubs in the Panhandle, I have access to all of the clubs, all 34 of them that are in our district. So I took the idea of the Lions Club logo is we serve, and where there's a need, there's a lion. So I took that and ran with it, and I went to all the clubs in the Panhandle and gave a spiel on the Texas Ramp Project and said, help. And everybody stepped up.
Here's one more story just for you.
I was born on Christmas Day, and the doctor that delivered me named me because Stella meant star.
And Stella Waits has been shining her light for 100 years.
It's amazing, really.
Born in Basile in 1925, Stella and her family moved to the lake area when she was a little girl.
I got to tell you, I could not speak English when I started the first grade. I was French, and we spoke French at home.
And that's just one of the challenges she would overcome.
It was way back then, the Depression, and everybody was poor, but we had a syrup bucket, and that's what we packed our lunch in to go to school.
At 19, Stella would marry her husband, R.C., before he was shipped off to war, and theirs would be a love that would last a lifetime.
Yeah, right at 69 years.
They did everything together. It was always the two of them.
Susan Gar's one of Stella and R.C.'s 6 children.
They were into everything, every sport there was.
But Susan says so was her mom.
Some articles from when she was painting, and she did a show at Muller's. When we were teenagers, walking up to the house, you see her in her painting room at the easel most of the time painting.
They said they don't ever remember me not having a paintbrush in my hand.
And R.C. was right by her side.
If she got into ceramics, he got into ceramics. If she got into painting on the wood, he cut the wood out.
Stella reminisces about the time the adventurous duo traveled into Mexico to buy frames for her artwork and ended up detained by authorities at the border.
Put her in one room and my mom and my dad in the other room.
They searched us.
It was this letter written by then U.S. Representative Edwin Edwards thanking Stella for a painting of hers hanging in his Washington office that garnered their release.
They took everything out of my purse. They pulled it out, and when they saw the letter, they let us go. It saved us. It saved us. We were in there hours.
Over the years, Stella has made the world her canvas.
Burn out light bulbs. Yes. We never threw anything away.
Wow.
Nothing. Everything was painted.
Some newspaper articles even quipping she turned junk into art.
And I think, her staying busy and being able to do as long as she did, then, has kept her here with us.
Stella calls it a labor of love and often gives her art away to others.
People in Lake Charles have been so good to me, and so I thought, well, this is one way to pay them back.
Stella has since had to trade in her brushes for a crochet needle.
I can use my hands, at the same time I use that little bit of eyesight that I have left.
Turning her crocheted hats into beautiful works of art.
This is what you call a bucket hat with a brim.
She donates them to local hospitals and makes smaller ones for the Shoebox Project for Children.
It's just really mind-boggling.
While time fades and the clock winds down, Stella faces each day with a smile.
I say I was born that way.
Even keeping her faith following the death of her beloved R.C.
I think what helped me there is we lived at Moss Bluff, and it was too much for me to take care of after he was gone. So I sold that and moved over here all in 1 year.
At 100, Stella still does nearly everything for herself.
Except I don't drive anymore. I miss that, but I gave it up voluntarily. I did it on my own because I knew I couldn't see anymore. Would you believe I take 3 prescriptions? It's just, it's not anything serious.
So what would you tell people if they're saying, I want to live to be 100. I want to be that happy when I'm 100 years old.
Go for it. If I can do it, why can't other people do it?
Well, all good things must come to an end, but don't worry, you can catch us next time on our Good News Edition, or visit us on NewsChannel10.com, News Channel 10, and of course, all of our streaming apps. Until next time, I'm Nellie Ramirez.